Hello, welcome back. There are 2 episodes of Lolcow Bus that I haven't covered yet. We have the Mean Girls episode, and then we have the episode where Milky Chai comes in and beautifully smacks down Amberlynn Reid. We're going to cover that in my next video. This video is about the Mean Girls episode. In this one, some interesting things happen. For example, Amber tells us all that she's very, very, very tight. Her words.
Everyone believes I have a dainty vag. Everybody.
Okay,
I believe it. You won't even use it, though. I bet you're tight as fuck.
How can a vag be dainty?
I'm so tight. Oh my god, I'm so tight. I can't.
Oh my.
She tells Scooter that he would suck in a relationship because he's a gaslighter.
I can say is based on how you're acting right now, you'd suck to be in a relationship with because you're a gaslighter.
Just thought that one was kind of ironic. And she also talks about Rarity, her cat, and says this when Sweetie calls the cat deceased.
I got this pin for you. It's Rarity to show my support for you and your deceased cat.
Deceased? That's really sad. I still have hopes that she'll come home. But thank you, that's really sweet.
Which I thought was pretty ironic, because I don't know if she meant that the cat would come home back to Oklahoma or back to her girlfriend's house in Wisconsin. Either way, I don't think that cat's going to be coming home anytime soon, and she has no one to blame but herself. Despite her lying and trying to fudge the narrative on that, we all know what really happened with Rarity. No one's falling for your bullshit, Amber. If you guys want an overview of what happened with Rarity, if you somehow missed it, I'll chuck some of my videos here. There's also a bunch of other videos you can watch. That cat is gone, and it's Amber's fault, and that is that on that. There's also this stunning clip where she says that Fingerlyn will arrive when her girlfriend gets to Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Fingerlyn always strikes, and Fingerlyn will arrive soon when her girlfriend arrives, I'll tell you that.
Ooh.
Is Fingerlyn coming out to play soon?
Yeah.
Do some like hand exercises to get prepared so you can go all night long.
You gotta get ready.
Yeah. Get prepared.
Oh, I'm ready. I'm ready.
Emily, I think you have some serious problems. The fact that you're going to spend time in this person's house is honestly one of the most embarrassing things I think I've ever heard. But at least you're going there rather than letting this violent abuser into your own home like you did last time. Also in this live, we got to see Scooter dancing around in a pink bikini, which is another one of those, if I had to see it, you have to see it. Here you go. And there are 2 clips from the actual live that we're going to go in and watch. There's a relatively short one where Amber talks about being hit on, and there's a longer one where they discuss Boogie 2988's racism on Lolcow Live, and Amber uses this as an opportunity to grandstand about how non-racist she is and defend her racist past. So we'll cover all of that in this video. Sometimes when I wear this necklace, I get comments, people asking me where it's from, so I will link it in the description down below just so you know it's from Etsy. It's made of stainless steel and it's very, very heavy. Highly recommend. Okay, so 3 or so minutes into this live stream, Amber starts claiming that she got hit on, so we'll watch that because it's just funny, and Girl World after all is a laugh. Also, if you don't follow me on Instagram yet, follow me on Instagram at Rachel the Python. I do post lots of anti-MAGA stuff, so if you're a raging racist, you might not want to follow me, but if you've got your head screwed on, then at Rachel the Python. Also, I think I'm going to do another one of those videos where I listen to you guys' voice notes, so it'll be a good idea to follow me if you want to send me a voice note. Okay, let's listen to all about how Amber got hit on and how she's not a racist. Here we go.
Like 50 members, we free the Greys. You guys know the rules. I wish it worked. So, but we already have 4. Shout out to that. Now, before we get into anything, because live was, we'll get into live in just a sec. What did you guys get up to today?
Just to say here, the reason he says we'll get into live in just a second is because during the live stream on Lolcow Live that Boogie 2988 did the night prior, this is a screen grab from the live stream just to give you an idea of the depths that Boogie has sank to. Pretty offensive, and Amber was on, she wasn't on that exact live, but she had been on live with Boogie. She wasn't there when that happened, but yeah, that was one of the things that happened on the show. He also used the N-word, although they're about to defend it by saying that it wasn't with a hard R. Either way, he did that on the LCU, which is run by Keemstar, who also runs their show. So I think it's absolutely fucked, but we're about to listen to them talk about it. But just so you know, that's what they mean when they say what happened on live. Anyway, back to Amber.
Well, when I went outside to walk Twinkie, I got hit on.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
Hit on too.
Look how happy she is. She's like, haha, I got hit on. To also, to walk Twinkie? Okay, girl, sure. We'll talk about the nails and Twinkie and the dog walking and all of that when we watch the Milky Chai conversation that happened in the next episode. But goodness me, her saying that she walks Twinkie will never not make me like cringe / laugh / get annoyed.
Different kind of way.
It was this like older man, and it was really awkward actually. But that's what happened there.
What'd he say?
But he said he was allergic to dogs, so it was like a whole weird situation. He was just like, "Wow, I love your outfit," and I was like, "Thanks. Yeah, I had to wear pink today."
I bet this was like a 65 or 70-year-old man who just saw her and felt really bad for her and saw that she was wearing this bright pink shirt and clearly she wanted attention and then was just like trying to be nice. I really think she's one of these people who, like, somebody asks her what time it is because they've lost their phone and they genuinely need to know what time it is, and she'll be like, guys, I got hit on, I can't believe this person like found me attractive or fancied me, or like someone feels sorry for her so they say, oh, you've got really pretty hair, you know what I mean? Like, come on now, is she getting hit on? Unclear, highly doubt, unclear.
Because my job, da, da. And then like he wanted to know what I did for work, and I was like, oh, I just do stuff online. And then he was like, oh, like OnlyFans.
Oh,
Wait, how old is this
that's
guy?
what I would immediately thought if you would have told me that.
Older.
Like, so we got like an old gooner being like, yo, can I get your OF? Damn.
Yeah, and I was like,
I will say, I do think that if she went on OF, she would probably make good money because there are lots of people out there who absolutely love her. And I'd be surprised that, I don't know, I'm surprised that she hasn't done that yet, to be honest, because she's on Lolcow Live, so, well, Lolcow Bus. So I'm surprised that she hasn't gone to, like, selling tummy pics. But I suppose Emily probably wouldn't like that. She'd be jealous.
I was like, that is not what's going down, but okay. Yeah, it was a weird conversation. So I'm not a fucking liar, bro. You're just jealous that you can't hit on me in public.
Now, Sweet Tea, you mentioned you got hit on too. Was it the same or like a different kind of hitting?
No, it wasn't really hitting on. I was at the Walmart today, and this man came up to me, and he asked me if I was kin to somebody. And I was like, no, but I know who they are. And they're like, I'm pretty sure you're my cousin. And I was like, no, I don't think I'm kin to you. And he sat there for like 30 minutes trying to convince me in like all this different lineage that I've never heard of a day in my life. He was like 60 or 70. Eventually I was like, okay, we're kin. It's cool. It's nice to meet.
Guys, I fucked up the screen recording. Sorry. I do have to say, I'm starting to like Sweet Tea. Like, I mean, she glazes Amber, which is embarrassing, but I think she's just doing what she's been told to do by her boss, which is not an excuse. And I don't think she should be like up Amber's ass, and she needs to have her own opinion. But every now and then she comes out with stuff and she's just funny a tiny bit. I mean, a lot of people really don't like her, but I don't know, she's kind of okay sometimes, but she does need to open her brain and listen to how awful her co-host is. As I've said before though, people do get hit on who you wouldn't think are like classically attractive, right? It's different strokes for different folks. People like all different things.
So do you live somewhere where like everyone is related almost?
Yes. I knew some of the people he was naming.
Have you ever accidentally hooked up with a family member?
Well, my father's from the north, so...
Did you hear? Sorry, that took me a second. She just said, have you ever hooked up with a family member? Is that her, like, being, I don't know what the word is for it would be. I guess, like, stereotyping people who live in the south, maybe? I don't know where Sweet Tea lives, but anyway, this is boring. Let's go to the Boogie stuff. So, for about 10 minutes of the stream here, Amber talks about Boogie 2988 and what he did on Lolcow Live. So as I've already said, I believe it's been taken down, but I've got this screen. Oh no, actually, you know what? I think it might still be up, but I've got this screen grab as I've shown you already. This is what Boogie did. And he was shouting and using the N-word and all of this stuff and just being like absolutely fucking vile. And his kind of whole thing, his whole like shtick is to be provocative and like weird and racist or whatever to try and get clicks. And, you know, he's a full-on lolcow. We all know it's not real. He's just making it up to be whatever the word is for when you use racism to try and be funny. I don't think it actually has a word. I like to call it being a cunt. But anyway, this is where they all kind of discuss that. So I'll play it from here, but I do think that this is just a little bit of a setup to give Amber a chance to discuss and make excuses for her own past racism. It's only about 10 minutes. I imagine this video will be quite short. Okay, Amber, defend your racism. Here we go.
Anything moving. I'll keep an eye on the mirror though, guys. I'm going to say lock in on the mirror. Now, we'll get back to Cash in a minute because I want to talk about what the fuck just happened on Live, and let me just
listen. Boogie is
your best friend still?
Yeah, I have.
So she just said Boogie is disgusting, and then stares at the camera with this face, which is kind of the face she makes when she really wants her point to go into your brain. She's like, "This is what I think," and then stares you out to check that you believe her.
Boogie blocked.
Oh shit.
We all need to block him. I'm done.
Yeah, I'm not.
To be honest, anytime she says she's done, she's not really done. So she'll be back on Lolcow Live at some point. They've put a clip up here of what he was doing. You can see him there. He's sat on the floor. He's covered in black paint. He's done the face only white, so that presumably he can't be accused of doing blackface. I presume that's why he did that. I haven't watched it, so I don't know. And then he's got a BLM, which stands for Black Lives Matter. I'm sure. I don't know why I need to tell you that. You know what BLM stands for, on the wall behind him. And I think that this is probably one of the most disgusting things I've ever seen. Lying about cancer is bad. This is also really bad. And just to be clear, he can say, oh, I was trying to be performative. I was trying to be funny. I was doing it for whatever any reason he gives is not good enough. Like, there is no excuse for doing this. Amber says she's done. She'll be back on that show. And in my opinion, kind of. She's on Lolcow Bus, which is one of the shows in the LCU. Boogie owns the LCU, so even though, or part owns the LCU, even though she's not actively involved in this particular live stream, I still feel that being on the LCU at all and funding these kinds of people and helping to fund these kinds of people, because Amber would have made a lot of money for Keemstar, and I think by extension Boogie, she's still putting her name to this, she's still associating with these people, and I think that that's vile. That is vile. I understand there's a couple of degrees of separation between what Boogie did on this live stream and Amber being on Lolcow Bus. I'm not saying that just because she's on Lolcow Bus, that means that she's, directly complicit in what Boogie did. She wasn't present on the live stream, so she couldn't physically have said anything at the time. But I do have to question her presence and the presence of every single individual generally who, is on the LCU, because it is all kind of interconnected and one incestuous family. And if one of you is doing this, you do need to come out and very clearly denounce it, which is what Amber does in this live. But I also feel that she is kind of doing it actually so that she gets a chance to defend herself. But we'll get into that. Let's just let it play.
Playing a clip or anything, I'm just showing what Boogie looked like at the end of his stream. So there's a lot of people here that maybe don't follow the LCU too closely, but last night on Lolcow Rewind, the show immediately after us, Boogie went up there and started dropping the N-word. No, fortunately, no hard R, but he was like spamming that shit.
I don't think, fortunately, no hard R. You shouldn't be saying it at all. The hard R doesn't really save you, or the lack of hard R doesn't save you, in my opinion.
Like, he was spamming that shit. He got kicked, he got his host roles taken away, he got banned. Yeah, maybe I was right about taking fucking Queens the other day. So that happened, and today...
Listen, I understand, like, in teenage years, early 20s, maybe mid-20s, doesn't matter. I understand being ignorant, maybe...
Okay, we're going to pause for 1 second. So she has just seen and heard, they've just brought up what Boogie did, and rather than immediately denouncing it, rather than saying that is unacceptable, that is vile, he should not have done that, that is wrong, Black Lives Matter, and this is an absolute, embarrassment and a joke, he should be deplatformed and lose all of his access to the LCU, because that is not funny or acceptable in any way, right? Instead of saying that, she says immediately, listen, I understand being ignorant when you're in your teens, in your 20s, in your mid-20s, because that is when she was ignorant. So instead of actually denouncing this, she's just using it as an opportunity to defend herself. So on Ask FM on the 12th of December 2014, somebody asked her, how do you feel towards the N-word? And they put both spellings in there. And she says, I'm going to be honest right now, it was the 12th of November, like I always am. When I was in high school, I hung out with a few black people. These two guys were honestly like my best friends. They always called each other the N-word, and I was always hanging out with them, so it rubbed off on me. The first time I caught myself saying it, I was frightened because I'm a white girl saying it, and I did not know how they would handle it. They loved it. I remember their reaction and everything. Soon they explained to me that black people call each other the N-word as a sign of respect, and the N-word with an ER, hard R, as some people say it, is insanely disrespectful. That's what she said in December of 2014. So she claims that she had black friends who said it was fine. And then in September of 2015, you can see, I think this is on, something, it might be Instagram, she posts this update, this is about a year later, where she uses the N-word. So she says, no, N-word, I'd rather not have all that damn sugar in my body from one soda. So she was perfectly happy to use that word then. And then around about 9 years ago, she comments this on one of her YouTube videos. She writes, I apologise if this offended you. Like, I seriously deeply apologise. I have a lot of family members, cousins, uncles who are African American, and they call me that all the time. So in habit, I say it back to them, and they tell me all the time that in their culture, brackets not saying yours, that it's almost a sign of respect. I understand that what Destiny said was probably out of line in mixed company, but to her, she did not mean it in a derogatory way at all. I guess I am just so used to never offending anyone with the word that I did not think anything of it, but I honestly feel so horrible that this upset you, and now looking back, I can see why. I'm truly sorry. So I think that's her apologising for Destiny using the N-word in one of her videos. Granted, this was a long time ago, so, you know, she almost certainly has changed her opinion in the last 11 years, or she definitely has in the last 11 years, but what's interesting here is that in this post, 9 years ago, she claims that she has a lot of African American family members, which is not what she said in the previous post, which was made prior, where she said she had 2 black friends in high school. So is it family members or is it friends? I don't know. I think both of them are just an excuse because she thought the word was cool and edgy and funny and she wanted to use it. But just so you know, that is kind of an overview of Amber's history of using the N-word, which is why, you know, and the inconsistencies therein, which I think is why she's so keen to try and use this moment where she's talking about Boogie to defend herself, because she knows that she's faced these kinds of allegations. But yeah, just to kind of keep everyone in the loop, that's what she is trying to subtly defend in this attack of Boogie, which is actually a defense of herself, in my humble opinion. That was a lot of talking, but I feel like it was important to get that context out. Okay, carry on, Amber.
You don't have the knowledge. Maybe you grew up in places where it was okay back in the olden days. I don't fucking know. I know based on experience, I myself have made mistakes early 20s. But when you get older, you learn based on
I think early 20s is not young. Like early 20s, you know, 22, 23, 24, you should fucking know better. You should know better, especially if you were in your early 20s in 2016. If you were in your early 20s in 1999, that might be a slightly different conversation. But yeah, no, this is not an excuse. Amber, this is not an excuse.
experience, knowledge, you hear other people's feelings, the experiences they went through. You can no longer use ignorance as an excuse. When I heard Boogie today literally say, I didn't know that word was bad. Yes, you did. There's a difference if you truly did not know that. But bro, you're in your what, 70s, 80s, 90s? You're like almost 100 years old. You know that word is bad.
Yeah, I mean, Boogie trying to say that he thinks that he doesn't know that word is bad is complete and utter bullshit. But I think it's also bullshit that Amber is using this as an opportunity to preach to her or to this audience about how bad racism is, which I understand the sentiment. Yes, it absolutely is wrong. What Boogie did was absolutely fucked. But I feel that this is just her trying to make a defense of herself, to be honest. I don't know. It's not sitting nicely with me.
Maybe he's going through a senior angst.
Well,
Like, I'm not
Becoming a
going to sit
senior
here and act
citizen.
like I'm the most perfect thing ever. I have said that word.
So why is it
Decade
about
plus
her? But like, why is it about her though? I just don't get why this situation needs to be used to defend Amber's past historic racism. Just shut up and talk about Boogie and condemn Boogie and talk about what he did on his show and what you guys are going to do to make sure that you're distanced from that. I keep saying the same thing, but I just think it's odd that she's using this as a moment to get on her soapbox. And funny that she'll do it about racism, but when people used ableist language literally in front of her, she didn't bat an eyelid. And because it was used to defend her, she was totally fine with it. Such BS.
Ago, before I learned, I was ignorant. But you cannot use ignorance as an excuse when you're no longer ignorant. Just like the whole Gidgee situation. Gidgee was literally fired, for real, for doing the same fucking bullshit. But they're over there being performative as fuck, making hella fucking money over Boogie's racism. And I do not condone, I do not stand for it, and that's not okay. Boogie is a horrid person, and for anyone to support that bullshit, you're also horrid. You're just as horrid. Point blank, period.
Okay, sorry, I just had to let her add that point blank period in there. Yeah, I mean, that kind of tells you all you need to know, right? She'll argue and shout and get on her soapbox about topics that she wants to use to make herself feel better. But when it comes to things that she actually should be covering and discussing and speaking about, she doesn't want to. And the irony, which I'm sure most of you will appreciate, of her calling them performative when this entire show is fake and scripted. I'll let a bit more of this play, but yeah, I don't think there's that much more to say about it, to be honest. It's just embarrassing for her.
I agree 100%. Callie, thank you for the one gifted. We're at 6, I think. Yeah, we're at 6. And Cynthia Breyer, thanks for 5 months at Bandworld. Love the hot pink ALR.
So, did they
Thank you.
did they tell him to paint himself black, or because I know they told him to paint himself white?
I don't know how they got to the point. There was a dono goal on the screen that said $50 to paint Boogie black, and
yeah, I mean, that tells you everything you need to know, right? Whoever put that goal on there, what the fuck are you thinking? And these people supporting the LCU as a general thing and supporting Keemstar and Boogie as people, like, what the hell are you doing? This is embarrassing. This is just a writhing cesspit of fuckery.
Oh.
You know, I don't know why that was on the screen. I don't know whose idea it was. It seems really stupid to me. In my opinion, this all gets a lot worse whenever you learn that there is more context between Boogie's whole thing. So,
What?
Yeah, so if you guys don't know Boogie's history, at one point Boogie did a crypto scam, a little rug pull action. This happened like back in the documentary days before the LCU. Well, it came out that Boogie is in fact associated with a new crypto coin, and the name of that crypto coin is Blackcoin.
Look at Amber. She's trying so hard to make it look like she's just so horrified she can't possibly listen to this discussion. My God, it's just, I'm sorry if this is cynical or me just being a hateful reaction channel, but I think this is so fucking performative from Amber. Yes, what Boogie did was horrendous, I agree, but why is it being used, or why do I feel anyway that it's being used to try and get me to like Amberlynn? Like, that's how I feel this is being kind of spun, you know?
When did he do this? Before he said the N-word?
This came out on live today. Now I went back and I looked at the Twitter account, and he's been associated with them for a little bit. Like, there was a video posted like a week or two ago with him, and so he's been associated with this for a little while. Like, it really raises questions to me. Like, they're doing this whole thing, and like, here's one of the gimmicks, I guess, of, he's calling it a meme coin. I don't care what you call it. One of the gimmicks is if you buy $20 worth of Blackcoin, you get the pass. And I feel like he did that as a way of promoting his newest scam, to be completely honest.
Why isn't Keem actually firing him?
Well, we can go back
I
to...
do not... The whole... he's an intern. I'm sorry, fire me right off the bat right now for even saying this. I think it's a bunch of bullshit. I think he's getting his portion of the money that they got today. And I think this is all fucking performative, and I hate every single fucking second of it.
Yeah, I mean, I agree, it is performative and nobody should be making money out of it, and I hate every fucking second of it. And I also can acknowledge that Amber's response here is just, I don't know. It doesn't feel genuine or fully genuine anyway. I think that in the kind of current political climate that the United States is in, with, I would argue, fascism on the rise and racism on the rise and being given space and a platform and people feeling that they're justified in othering other communities and people who aren't, frankly, white and straight. Anything, whether it's a meme or a joke or just for money or whatever, anything that kind of adds to the feeling that it's okay to laugh and make light of these really serious topics. I don't think that's cool at all. And I think Boogie is an embarrassment and it shouldn't be happening. I also think it's interesting that Amber is saying, well, why hasn't Boogie been fired? He took his cut from all the money they made. Boogie is, I believe, as I've said, one of the owners of the LCU. So he's also making money off Amber. She is working for him. So I just think there is an adjacency or something worth noting about the fact that she says all of this, but she still stays working for Keemstar, who's allowing this to happen. If you've got a real problem with it, fucking quit. It's performative and fake. I don't know how complicit they are because it's not their show, but I do think that there's a connection there that I would argue is worth acknowledging. That's what I think. Let me know what you think in the comments.
And people are like in the chat, Amberlynn, you're here, so like, you condone it. Bitch, no, I don't. Bitch, no, I don't. There was a
I mean, I think that, let's let her finish.
difference when I was on the show and I was keeping my mouth shut. But when I hear you hop on another show and repeatedly say the N-word over and over and over and over, that is not okay.
I mean, so she's saying there's a difference between being on the show and saying nothing and then seeing him say it over and over again on another show. No, there's a difference there I think there's a difference between Boogie doing that on another show that she's not on a panel that she's not actively sat on. But if she was sat on that panel, she should have said something. The stuff that Boogie was saying and doing when she was on the panel, she was condoning it implicitly by not saying anything. And now she's speaking out against it when she's not there, when she's not on the panel. I am very curious what would have happened if he had started doing this while she was on the panel. I think she would have had the good sense to get the fuck off that panel and condemn it right then and there. But to be honest, I can't say hand on heart that I really believe that she would have. I would hope so. And it's one of those situations where I'm not sitting here saying that I believe Amberlynn is a racist. I don't think that she is, actually. And I mean, I don't know. But I would be surprised if she was genuinely, truly racist. But I think that just not being racist is not really good enough. You need to be actively, outwardly, loudly non-racist, especially at the moment. And it's difficult because although that's what she appears to be doing and she's claiming to be doing in this live, it is coming across as performative because the way she's doing it is positioned as a defense of herself and her past actions rather than an outward condemning of Boogie's actions in and of itself. And now, again, she's reading the chat and defending herself again. I know I do keep repeating myself, sorry. This video may not be as exciting as some of the others, but it's a really serious topic. So it's worth having the discussion, I think.
That is not okay. And now
I never heard
Black
him say it.
Fuck that.
Oh no, he said it. There's clips on Reddit, and I'm sure it's still up on the Kick stream. For obvious reason, they had to take down the YouTube stream, but no, he definitely said it multiple times.
He had to have been promoting his fucking coin then, right?
I would love to assume there's some reason for this but there really is never a reason. I don't know if it has to do with the black coin bullshit or if this is just Boogie being Boogie. Because I mean, let's be honest, Boogie jokes about this kind of shit all the time. He makes racist jokes almost every single episode of Live. So no offense to me.
Normally he tries to stay away from.
But if that's true and he does make racist jokes on every single episode of Live, then even more so, Amber going on Lolcow Live at all is condoning his behaviour. And the fact that he said anything in front of her and she said nothing is her, in a sense, being complicit because she didn't speak up and it happened in front of her. The whole thing just stinks. The bottom line is the whole LCU and the whole thing just stinks. It's a cesspit. It's full of people who are just vile. And the fact that she's engaging with it and being involved with it in any capacity, I think does align her at least somewhat with these people. You know, Boogie is her boss to an extent. I know it doesn't seem like that, but I know he's a partial founder or owner of the show, of the LCU. So, you know, she is paying him by being on this show, and I do think that that is worth noting.
From the black racism, though, it seemed like, until now, so I guess he wants to cross that line, too.
Yeah, he's had a long history of doing this stuff. I'm gonna be honest, so I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if he's doing it intentionally. It wouldn't surprise me if he's just being Boogie, to be completely honest with you. And I want to go back to what...
Sorry, one sec, I fucked up the screen recording, but either way, if he's doing it intentionally or if he's just being Boogie, both of those are intentional. What he does as Boogie is intentional too, right? There's no way to unintentionally be a racist piece of shit. Sitting there, like, I don't even... It's racist, okay? It's racist.
Amber said earlier, you know, whenever... I saw a comment in the main chat, and it said, you know, this has happened in the past, and that person got fired. Meanwhile, you know, like Amberlynn said, Boogie's up here on Live making good cash. I mean, now he's an intern, so I don't know if he's getting paid for that or not, but...
I don't believe that.
I'm pretty sure he probably is.
I'm sorry, I don't believe that.
At Mazisok super chatted $23.40. This is my first super chat ever, but Amberlynn, I've been watching you ever since I was 13. I'm 20 now, and I wanted to thank you for all the entertainment you've given me, even all the drama. I love you. Kissing face.
That's so crazy. That's so crazy that somebody could say that and have engaged with all the drama, which granted I know is for entertainment. All these YouTube videos, even this one, it's for entertainment. It's not just for entertainment though, it is also for awareness and calling out someone's shit. And I think that when someone like Amber is on the internet, finds her victims on the internet and harms animals, etc, etc, it's good and important to have an active, loud community of people who are saying, no, this is not acceptable, over and over and over again, when she keeps pulling the same shit. So although, yeah, you can say, oh, this is entertaining and fun, and it is, but it's not like only that, you know? The fact that somebody could watch her this whole time and see all of the reaction channels and the pushback and the evidence on evidence on evidence of just lies on top of lies, like, it's mental. And not only lies, but abuse, and lies about abuse, and lies about people, criminal accusations, all this stuff, that they could watch all of that and just be like, I don't care about that, I still love you, Amber, is wild. I guess some people are just stupid. Like, I don't know, there's kind of nothing else you can say about it other than that, right?
Simoji,
Wow.
also SD, you're a cutie pie.
Thank
Aw.
you. Oh my God, Amber, you got a lifelong fan here.
That's pretty fucking cool.
I do.
That
I
is
appreciate that
really
so much.
cool.
Thank you. It means the world to me.
Now,
What did Cyrax do?
oh god, what Cyrax is always doing something. Let's be real. Now with this Boogie stuff, Keem put an announcement day, and he's like, this is the kind of shit that makes me want to end the LCU. And look, me and Keem go back and forth sometimes. Like, I don't know how we are right now, but like, Keem doesn't need this place. Mike doesn't need this place. They do this place. It's like a hobby for them. And, you know, whenever you got me doing stupid shit or somebody doing stupid shit, that's one thing. You know, that's almost to be expected, right? When you got Boogie doing stupid shit constantly, like, let's not forget, Keem has said this. The reason he left Live was he got tired of dealing with Boogie shit every day. He didn't want to run a show every day, and he didn't want to deal with Boogie shit every single day. So, I mean, like, I don't know. Like, here's the deal. Like, Boogie talks about this on Live a bit. Whenever he does things like this, he's putting everybody in jeopardy. He hurts everybody when he does this. And, you know, it's really rich coming from him, because I've had conversations where he's like, you know, I hold it so, I'm so grateful that I get to do this for so many people, that, you know, me being here actually has helped improve other people's lives. And then he goes and does that shit, you know?
Yeah, because he doesn't actually care about helping other people's lives. This is just him being dramatic so that he can get as many views and make as much money as possible. Granted, that live stream, I'm sure, presumably, where he did all of this stuff and was a racist piece of shit, he would have made loads of money from it. So all of these people know exactly what they're doing. Even this conversation happening right now is performative. It's not like we have dialed in on a Teams call between employees and they don't know we're there and they're having a real conversation about their real feelings on a certain serious topic. They want it to seem like that because of the parasocial element. I think it's very clear the LCU is an entertainment-based show which is filmed to make money and to entertain people. This is not a real conversation between real colleagues. This is a curated, filmed, purposeful show. I do think that in the LCU, the agenda is sometimes really obvious, and in this one, it seems to be Amber gets a chance to defend herself from racist claims. You can call it out and say you don't like it all you want, but if you still show up to work and line the pockets of Keemstar, who pays Boogie, or I don't know, I'm pretty sure they're kind of Boogie's involved or helped set up the LCU. Either way, I don't know how it works financially, but, you know, they're all connected to each other, right? And if you're this close, I think you're too close. That's my opinion.
And like once a month, he does some dumb shit that pisses off everybody, pisses off Keem to the point where Keem's losing his mind, and eventually one of the days we're all gonna fucking suffer for it. Like that's the reality. Like I'm so tired.
I think that them saying that Keemstar is annoyed by it, he's not annoyed. He's made money off it. He loves it. He's a professional troll, like literally. Being dramatic and divisive and an asshole on the internet is what has made Keemstar all of his money. He knows exactly what he's doing. So does Boogie. And I think so do these three, to be honest. They all know what they're a part of, right? It just all feels icky to me.
Tired of Boogie's bullshit. I really am.
It reminds me a lot of like Kanye and like how he would do like crazy shit to promote his next album.
Yeah.
And like Boogie, I think, is doing this thinking that he's gonna get like good positive attention, but that can only get you so far before people start thinking you're
The
an
only
actual
positive attention he's going to get is from other racists. So if he wants to surround himself with that, cool. But he should not do it here on the LCU.
I mean, I think it's actually probably more accurate to say that although, sure, any positive attention he's going to get will be from other racists, people are giving him attention and negative attention in the form of super chats, which makes him money. So although it's negative, it's still a net positive for him. And although Amber and these guys don't do it with racism, they do it with other provocative, dramatic comments and behaviour and raging and stuff, because they want the same thing. It's pissing the audience off so that they'll donate because they hate you. So even though it's negative attention, it's positive because they've had to put it on a 20. You know what I mean? We'll listen to a little bit more. But yeah, I don't think this is really going anywhere, to be honest.
And if Keem doesn't fire him, then it makes me wonder, like, why is Keem allowing this?
Well,
That's true.
You know, and it's another one of these things where, oh, Jesus Christ.
I'm just going to pause for a second, actually. I think that is one fair point from Amber, definitely there. If he doesn't get fired and he's allowed to continue doing this, then Amber should quit. And everybody who disagrees with it should quit. Because you're saying Keem needs to fire him. Well, if Keem doesn't fire him, which he won't because he makes him so much money, if Keemstar, doesn't fire Boogie, then he's supporting Boogie absolutely in his racism. And Amber, if she then stays on the show, and Scooter and Sweet Tea and anyone who works for Keemstar stays on this show, they are still putting their name and in their agreement and their time and money into Keemstar, who is also platforming and allowing and supporting Boogie, who is a known racist. So if Amber really means that, and she really has a problem with this, she will vote with her feet. And when we see Boogie still on the LCU in 2 or 3 days or whatever, she should quit, because her boss is still keeping this other person who she disagrees with so strongly on his platform, right? So we'll see if she votes with her feet, which of course she won't. Then again, it might work out perfect timing-wise, because she'll get her channel back if she does on the 2nd of Feb, so she could quit the LCU and claim that it was because of all the racism. That will be a very clever PR move for Amber. I wonder if she'll do that. I'm also very curious if she is going to get her channel back. I really don't know. I'm going to stop covering this episode now, because I think, we're just going kind of round and round the drain, saying the same thing. Okay, I'm going to leave the video there. Thank you for watching. Follow me on Instagram. Keep an eye out for my next video, because we're going to get into Milky Chai's conversation with Amber, which was just really fascinating. So that will be coming up next. Okay, I'm going. See you later. Bye.